permanent record is Edward Snowden's memoir, published in 2019. Snowden, a former intelligence contractor for the CIA and NSA, became widely known in 2013 after leaking classified documents that exposed how U.S. intelligence agencies were secretly surveilling their citizens. The book opens with Snowden's childhood, detailing his upbringing by government-employed parents who eventually moved to the Washington, D.C. area. His father introduced him to computing by buying a home computer, which sparked Snowden's fascination with technology. By the age of 12, he was heavily engaged with the internet, spending countless hours online playing games, building computers, and teaching himself coding. At one point, his basic hacking skills uncovered a security vulnerability in a nuclear research facility's website, which he responsibly reported. As his computer use escalated, his academic performance declined, and he struggled with insomnia. After his parents' divorce, he questioned whether his obsession with technology played a role in their separation. While in college, he met May, who ran a web design business, and he began working for her while studying. Following the events of 9/11, he enlisted in the Army, much to his parents' dismay. Despite being a qualified computer expert, he completed basic training but was discharged due to an accident. He then decided to join the intelligence community, seeking to obtain a security clearance. During this time, he met Lindsay Mills on an online dating site, and they became a couple. Snowden worked for the CIA and was stationed in Geneva, where he managed the security networks of the embassy. A few years later, he transferred to Tokyo, with Lindsay by his side. In 2009, he attended a conference on Chinese intelligence, and while preparing for his presentation, he realized that the U.S. government, with similar technology, was likely surveilling its citizens in ways comparable to China. This thought consumed him, and he inadvertently came across a classified report that confirmed his suspicions. This, along with his struggles to adapt to Japanese culture, led to feelings of depression and isolation. Returning to the U.S., he resumed work for the CIA but suffered stress-related seizures and was diagnosed with epilepsy. He moved to Hawaii, partly to address his health issues. There, he began working for the NSA and secretly researched mass surveillance, collecting documents using a program he developed called Heartbeat. He considered blowing the whistle on what he had discovered, gradually smuggling SD cards into the facility to transfer the files to a highly encrypted drive at home. After changing positions, Snowden uncovered even more about the NSA's capabilities and perceived abuses of power. He reached out to journalists, including Laura Poitras and Glenn Greenwald, hoping they would cover his findings. When Lindsay went on a camping trip, he took medical leave and flew to Hong Kong, where he anxiously awaited the journalists' arrival. Once they came, his employer and girlfriend grew suspicious. The journalists published his revelations, and Snowden filmed a video disclosing his identity. Following the public exposure of the NSA's mass surveillance program, PRISM, the U.S. charged Snowden with espionage. He attempted to flee to Ecuador to avoid extradition but had a layover in Russia, where he discovered that his passport had been revoked. Consequently, he remained in Russia for 40 days before being granted asylum. Now, he works with a foundation that promotes online privacy and develops tools to bypass mass surveillance. After a prolonged separation, Lindsay eventually joined him in Moscow, and they got married.